Let's do a thing. Thanks for being here. Let's connect to our Ujjaya breath. Just allowing our awareness to expand and diminish, to grow and recede with our breath. Permitting it to also gently descend through softened abdomen. Feel the shoulders relax. Without necessarily moving the hands. Feel any tension in the hand or the joints. It's releasing. Part of selecting our response in any given situation is compatible with selecting the quality of energy that we want circulating in our field. And to be really clear, when we select the quality of energy that we want to run through our body, it's not aspirational, but there's an intentionality to keep moving back to that quality. It doesn't mean that we'll be able to produce it on demand, but we can keep recalibrating. So what is the quality of energy that you most want organizing your system, replenishing your system, nourishing your body? And just to give you a small handful of qualities of energy, we might look to nature. There's these qualities, these wind-like qualities, can be blown through. There's fire-like qualities that can kind of clear like a controlled burn. There's these moist or earthen and mineral dense kinds of qualities. Some people are really visual, so it may have more of a quality of shimmering or brightness. Some of you are more kinetically attuned. So your quality of energy might feel like different rivers or currents or motions, textures that you've encountered. Texture of calming or quietude or rippling or white caps or in the more traditional sense, yogic traditions, there's these qualities in Tantra like abundance, destruction. There's many gods, goddesses to personify these. So that's a large selection. I just want you to know that this is super inclusive, so absolutely draw from your archetypes, draw from your background, draw from the images that help you start to orient toward that quality and then start to breathe that. So it's not just imagining it or conceptualizing it. As you breathe it, it becomes visceral. It's not just ingestion, but you're kind of generating. You're starting to attune with this quality, whether it's love or clarity. And as we breathe in this quality, how we can move that and spread that into our system so we can, as fully as possible, embody. So that's kind of the mechanics of it. Let's spend the next hour doing that. For our pranayama, let's set up and straddle. We'll separate our legs widely apart. Feet active. And we can just set the hands directly in front of our thighs. So we don't need to fold too much for this. And we'll work some rounds of Uddiyana. Inhale, expand ribs. Feel breath descend into the abdomen, into the groin, into the pelvis. And then swiftly exhale. And it's really key that we get all the way empty. So just empty that, kind of squeeze, exhale it all out. Remain empty, lower the chin toward the top of your sternum and draw the belly toward the inside of your abdominal cavity. With it comes some of the perineal pelvic floor musculature. Just feel if you have access to turning that on voluntarily. And you're lifting up. It's like you're lifting the mass of your innards, your pelvic abdominal innards up. Let the abdomen go. Take a couple Ujjaya breaths. So just taking a breath or two. Now, every time you get the chance, you might have to close eyes, reconnect to that quality. So you keep coming back inside, this ongoing, remember. We keep calibrating toward this quality of energy. Because if we turn on to it, we'll be more apt to recognize it and go, that's what that feels like in my body. Inhale into the pelvic floor, the width of the pelvis, feet active. Let's exhale everything out. Remain empty. Draw the belly in and back. Lifting up. You feel the pelvic floor, there's a little engagement. You feel deeply inside the organs, there's some engagement. Now when you let the belly go, don't squander this moment. Connect to your breath, reconnect to that quality. Find out if you can move that, spread that, breathe that into the groin, into the hips, into the pelvis. Inhaling, last round. Swift, thorough exhale. Get all the way empty, squeeze it out, wring it out, remain empty. Draw the belly in, draw it back, lift up. When you let the belly go, inhale, reconnect to your Ujjaya breath. Feel for washing that breath through your core. In. There's this tendency when we let go of something that we also let go of our attention. Keep working with this quality through the release. Keep working with this quality through the intake. Keep working with this quality. So we stay oriented to it. We'll notice it. It betters our chance of embodying it. Let's help our legs together with our hands. Lie on back. Bring the feet off the ground. I want you to imagine for a moment, we're going to do this again. Imagine the driver's side seatbelt, right? Connects the left armpit to the right hip. Okay? And now just for a moment, imagine a passenger side seatbelt connects the right armpit to the left hip. Okay? These two lines, these diagonals, we'll play with these. Inhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Curl tailbone, exhale, reach the right leg out. Now, cinch the right armpit toward the left hip. So imagine you're cinching like cinching together. So you're creating a diagonal contraction. There's not really a muscle that goes like that, but I want you to keep feeling for that connection through contraction. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, left leg reaches out. Now, can you feel the left armpit moving closer to the right hip? Driver's side seatbelt. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee, come back centrally. Let's keep the shoulders up. Curl tailbone, exhale as the right leg straightens out. Feel right armpit, cinch closer to left hip bone. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, left leg reach. Feel your left armpit cinch closer to your right hip bone. Pull low belly down. Now inhale, let's keep going. We'll do 3 more on each side. Keep the shoulders up as you inhale. It may take a little practice feeling that thread of connection through the front of the body But keep playing. We'll use it a few more times. And if you're getting that feeling of diagonal shortening, like you're shortening these diagonals, your abdominals might be toasty by now. There you go. Yep. There you go. Good. The difference in these diagonals could prove meaningful to some of you who have turn, twist, or throw sports or have had them in your life. You might feel a stronger sense of connection through one of these diagonal lines than you do the other. Grab your roll. The fun doesn't stop there. Place it between legs, reach legs straight up. You are in some amazing sunshine. Susan. Inhale, pick the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Twisting abs with a mat. Hold breath just for a moment. Squeeze the roll with your inner thighs. Exhale, cinch your right armpit closer to your left hip. Passenger side seatbelt. In America. Pull low belly down. Inhale, back centrally. Keep the shoulder blades up. Do your best. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, cinch your left armpit closer to your right hip bone. Keep the squeeze. Now reach those legs up. Pull low belly down. Inhale, come back centrally. There's a slight release, not a full release, but there's a little relief in the belly. Squeeze the roll with your inner legs. Exhale, feel for bringing the right armpit closer to your left hip. Shorten the line, lengthen the legs. Pull low belly down. Inhale, come back centrally. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, bring the left armpit closer to the right hip. Shorten the line. Lengthen the legs. Pull low belly down. We'll do 2 more on each side. Inhale. Come back centrally. Keep shoulder blades up. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, right armpit closer to left hip. Shorten the abdominal line. Lengthen the legs. Pull low belly down. Inhale. Come back centrally. Squeeze roll, exhale, shorten the distance between left armpit and right hip. Reach the legs very, very skyward. Pull low belly down. Do the last one on each side on your own. There you go. And feel what this does to the backside of the body. You get these very strategic, particular contractions through the front side. What do you feel around the shoulder blade and the back side? And let's set our feet up for bridge. You'll probably want a block nearby. Get those feet hip width apart. We'll go a little different direction this evening, Brett, so he gets some review, but some new stuff too. Inhale, lift the chest away from the pubic bones. So all that shortening and tightening and contracting through the front side, now we're going the other way, expanding, growing. Exhale, shift the tailbone toward the sky. Buttock lifts, spine lifts. We'll set the block under the sacrum. Now, to feel the chest lifting and lengthening away from the hip bones, deepen breath. You feel that breath spreading under the low ribs, under the mid ribs, behind the chest wall, as if that breath is getting right between the lungs and the ribs. Keeping that length, exhale, reach the thigh bones away from your chest bones. Shavasana. Left hand reach down, collect your left ankle, draw it back, place top of foot on ground. The toes will point at my left shoulder. Now, in a moment, just listen to this first, and so you can decide how you'll proceed. We'll have enough time to either remain half Virasana left leg, right leg lifts towards sky, or if that's a little cumbersome or you don't like the feeling of that on your sacrum, you can release the left foot to the ground in order to pick the right leg up. Okay. So I'm going to leave my left foot in this half Virasana just as it is. And if you want to bring the right leg up, now's a good time. Inhaling the right knee toward the chest, and then exhaling it skyward. Now keep that breath deep. What is that quality we're remembering? I find this practice super helpful in teasing apart thought, feeling, behavior. There's this constellation of thought, feeling, behavior. It really starts to construct our beliefs, our narratives, our relative self. And as I get into these postures, if I'm apt to start going down certain mind streams, if you will, remembering what is that quality of energy that I'm working with in my body can often just remind me, oh, I went down a familiar place. What is that thing I'm working with specifically? This is just enough to jog us and go, oh yeah, feeling, thought, behavior, those are really malleable things. I can interrupt them, I can change them, I can reconstitute them, All right, let's switch sides. Let's set the right foot down. And release the left foot to the ground. Inhaling, grow the chest away from your block. Virasana on the other side, or half Virasana rather, on the right side. Right hand will scoop up the right ankle. Draw it back. Back meaning toward your shoulder. So let's just remain here for a moment. If you start to sag down in the pelvis like, oh, I'm just giving up my weight, just press through that left foot. You're accessing some exquisite energy, and with our intention, right, there's a little bit of shape shift. What is that quality of breath that I'm choosing to work with? All right. So you can remain in half Virasana, right foot like so, or you can release the right foot to the ground. Our next move is raising the left leg toward the sky. So when you're ready, inhale, pick that left foot up, and exhale, send it up. Now I'm reaching the legs apart. I'm reaching that right thigh bone forward actively. I'm lifting this left thigh bone skyward actively. Even drawing the left thigh toward my left ear. I'm separating the legs that way. You may need to connect to a deeper breath, especially if you start to access some really wonderful pockets. And let's inhale, set the left foot down. Release the right foot out of half Virasana. With feet active, press tailbone towards sky. Remove block. Let's begin our descent. All right, let's turn on to a left side. And we'll sit up for Dolphin. Whew. So we set the elbows up, the forearms on the ground. And without moving the elbows, get the front side of the body to engage once again. You're squeezing elbow toward elbow. Does that get the chest muscles turned on? I'm going to move you just a bit. Try this out. Can you squeeze or shorten the line between your left armpit and your right hip bone? Can you shorten the line, contract the line between your right armpit and left hip bone? You feel those diagonals again? Curl the toes under. We're going to maintain those shortened lines, inhaling behind those diagonal lines. Exhale the knees off the ground. Now, having pressed up, wow, keep that front of body contraction. This can feel very different if you've grown accustomed to kind of flaring the chest in your dolphin. This will have a really different effect on the ribs. So can you keep that chest, keep that front of body contraction, that shortening. Keep shortening. Now breathe into the back side of the shoulders. Yes, that's it, Brett, like that. That's really cool, I think, if I read it right. Getting into that mid-back and those sides of shoulders. There you go. Now lengthen those lines, but keep contracting them. So strong and long. Keep the contraction. Feel the contraction, but grow them longer. Oh, next level. That's it, Matt. That's it. That's it, Matt. That's it. Yes. Yeah, great press. Keep pressing through those shoulders. Keep pressing through those arms. Yes, yes, yes. Winning. Take 2 more incredible deep breaths. Then we'll set it down, set the knees down. All right. Well, I hope you like it. We'll slide the hands under the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, extended warrior variation. So prop your left forearm on your left thigh. Draw the right arm up, right of vertical. Now, inhaling, press leg bones apart. So reach them, reach them, reach them. Exhale, press the arm bones apart. Left arm push down, right arm lift up. So all those lines you'd been contracting and working and contracting, compressing now. Breathing, spreading breath from that left hip all the way through that right shoulder. Spreading breath from that right hip all the way to that left shoulder. We're moving into triangles, so keep your left arm where it is. As you straighten your left leg, just put your left hand down on the leg. So you just remain kind of downwardly set. If you need to shorten your stance, just wriggle the right foot in. Inhale, pressing your triangle legs outward and apart, almost like you're splitting your mat. And then exhale, raise that right arm. reach back. We can still go for a little chest opener here. Now, extended warrior, bend that left knee, inhaling, slide that left hand down to the ground. You may have to open up your stance if you'd shortened it previously. Taking that right arm, smoothly reach it overhead. Now press out through that right heel. Learn if you can pull or lengthen your right hip bone away from your left collarbone. I'll give you a moment to find those. I'll say it again. As you reach out through that right heel, can you draw your right hip bone away from your left collarbone? There you go, Matt. That's it. Inhale, bring both hands down. Exhaling, let's step that left foot back into plank. Pause right here in plank. Inhale, push the earth. So you're wrapping the shoulders. The rib cage lifts up a little bit. Now exhale, pull the shoulders away from the neck. Pull the elbows toward the back of your mat to lower. Hands forward. Inhale, cobra. Pull the chest forward. Statically pull the thumbs apart. Exhale, lower, downward dog. Reset hands. Engaging those chest muscles. All right, let's do that other side. Extended warrior variation. Inhale your right foot forward. So a warrior two stance. Basically, we've got the right forearm on the thigh, the left arm reaches towards sky. Now connecting to breath. Remember how that quality of breath has almost leaves a kind of an impression almost, an energetic impression. And even if we can't quite feel it, like we might be in quite a funk and maybe it's really challenging to feel joy or abundance or whatever, but at least we're orienting toward it. At least we're keeping one of our vision eyes. What would that feel like? How would I start to imagine that, allow that into my body? It really does take some visionary work to get that started. But we're artists, we can do this. Triangle. I'm keeping my right hand close to my shin, so as I straighten my right leg, I just post up. And that way there's no bobbing up or down. If I need to adjust my stance, I do the left foot. Deepen breath. Press those legs strongly apart. Extended warrior. Bending right knee, slide the right hand down to the ground. Smoothly reach the left arm overhead, wrapping the left shoulder. Inhale, bring that left hand down to the ground. Exhaling, we'll step back into plank. Remain for one additional breath. As you inhale, push the ground so your shoulder blades wrap, the ribs lift between the shoulder blades. Exhale out, pull the shoulders, the shoulder blades down the back as you lower. Hands move forward for cobra. Inhale. Navel away from pubic bones, sternum away from navel. Exhale, lower, downward dog. All right. So I want you to just step forward so you can both stand and just have a rest moment. Do a couple of things at the wall, with the wall. One is half moon, and the other is splits on a wall. Okay, so just a reminder, I'm getting close enough to the wall so that at least I'll start my right side. My right hip is touching the wall. Now, even if my left hip doesn't touch the wall, I can get a really clear sense of where it is, how it's moving, if it's moving. So let's start with the right foot down. Use a block if you need to. And you're welcome to just step right in there. Here we go. All right, right foot stationary, inhale, bring right hand down, left heel up, hip height. Your left hand can go either on your left hip or straight up the wall. Okay? Now I'm going to suggest something. This is kind of like using our abdominal techniques in a novel way here. Without moving the left leg, squeeze, or imagine you're pressing your inner left thigh down atop a firm surface, like a counter or a ledge. And as you press that inner left thigh onto this firm countertop, say, lift off the right hip. So that's part of, like, we can say the why of using all of that inner leg squeeze. So I'm going to just go right here. I'm not going to let you lower that leg, but go ahead and squeeze your left leg. Press out through the heel. Inner left leg. Yep. Squeezy. Yeah, and so for all that squeeze, you get your own lift out of the right hip. Go ahead, you keep squeezing. There you go. Deep breath. And as you squeeze, now turn your own left hip toward the wall. Go ahead, press. Use me, which is using you. There you go. There you go. I'm going to come away from this, but you can keep doing that action. There you go. Mm-hmm. And so you can turn your own hip. You can turn. Yeah, that's it. That was really cool. That was really cool. You felt how that whole thigh bone and that pelvis turned. Good. Let's inhale. Carefully set that left foot down. You might have to bend your knees or just fold forward for a moment. Just take your time bringing your torso back upright. Okay? Now, in between sides, we're working shower on the wall. So in lieu of downward dog, place both of your hands on the wall, shoulder width. We're standing about 3 feet from the wall. Inhale into the sides of the back, the sides of the armpits. And now exhale, send both sit bones away from both shoulders. Some people are helped greatly by shortening those front lines a little bit. You'll have to just play, just experiment a little bit. Sometimes I shorten or engage the front of body a little bit, and it actually helps me access my upper spine differently, or my shoulders. There you go. There's the speak. There you go. Nice. Step forward, stand up. And now we'll do that other side half moon. So left butt cheek grazing the wall. Inhale, place the left hand down, draw the right heel up. I am using the wall for support. Please do. I'll just play. I might not be great at describing this just yet, but let's play around. Imagine your inner right thigh is on a countertop, a tabletop, exactly this height. And as you engage that inner right leg, yeah, exactly, like you're pulling down on that countertop. That's it. So it'll feel different than lifting the leg up. You're like squeezing that inner right leg atop something. Exactly, Susan, that's it. And you start to lighten up on that left hip. It's really, yes. There you go. Yes. Just a new way to use that back leg in half moon. And inhaling softly. As you bend the left knee, place the right foot down. If it was a real zinger, sometimes I'll just lean against the wall and just make a gradual uprighting. Final thing with the wall. I promised us splits on a wall. So there must be two of these. There's two sides. First, I may want some blocks, and I may start 3 or 4 feet from the wall. My side is facing the wall. And here I go. When I place one of my feet up on the wall, this little detail matters. This top edge of my foot, okay, is parallel with the ground. Or it's even slightly toes down. Just so it's not like toes up. Okay? Now, you can start with your ground foot, your right foot very far from the wall or very close to the wall. They'll all have different effects through the legs. So find a workable distance. And then press both legs strongly apart. There should be nothing funky feeling in the knee, any knee. No? So you have my wall toes just slightly down pointed. Okay? And relax the head and the neck down. Now, the way I like to exit this is I heel toe my feet together. So my wall foot is heel toeing down the wall, and my ground foot is heel toeing toward the wall until I can very softly place both feet on the ground. It's really important that you place the feet gracefully and not plop throw them down. It's really important we come out of these, both feet graceful. All right, there is another side, and this is the last side. Saddle up. All right. You just have to play around with the distances. And just very slightly turn the sets of toes just almost inward, barely inward. Deep, deep breath. Aligning with that quality of energy. How do you run that through your system? How do you kind of effervesce that current, that quality through your splits, through your limbs, through your core? The breath carries our intention. The breath carries our energy. The breath carries our energetic constellations. It carries our voice and the clarity of our mind. And to exit this, I just heel toe my wall foot down. And remember, graceful, 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 soft, soft plant of feet. Take your time to standing. Sometimes when we work around that sacrum and we're getting some deep breaths, it's not too unusual to sometimes feel a little spinny. All right, like right now. Let's slide back for Shavasana, please. And you might feel that breath, that quality of energy. Just moving through and penetrating deeply, deeply into body, through core. I get the distinct sense. So my experience is that there is a great power that a clarified mind, a clarified body has in the field, the collective. Those of us who link together with the same intention, gathering and working and intending and breathing together. And clarifying just in one simple way can mean just getting very clear. What's thought? What's emotion? What's feeling? What's energy? Observing and feeling that interplay, not beholden to that interplay, acting out in body. Observing it, witnessing it, but not beholden to it. that have access to our deepest wisdom, our intuition, that sense of how the universe is unfolding. Can have extraordinary power in an intentional collective. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side and use both hands press to seated. Namaste. Thanks, crew.
Namaste. Night, guys. Thanks.
Yeah. You got it.